Welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to be focusing on sending Firebase push notifications to your application through PHP. And there are 7 steps to this, so we can go through each of them one by one. If there's any particular step you want to, you can jump to it, and that's completely fine. There are 3 necessary links that I believe that are very important. These are links to documentation, so you can read to understand further as to how to do this. The first step would be to connect our app to Firebase, so let's do that real quick. This is a new application app project that I made. Let's just select Firebase and select Cloud Messaging. This is what we need. We don't need the rest for now. We can just set up, click connect to Firebase. It's going to connect us to Firebase. If you are not logged in to Firebase, it's going to take you to a login screen, but since I'm already logged in, it's just going to show me this. I have quite a few existing projects, so I'll just select one of these. I'm just going to select Casco. You could create a new project. It's the same thing, so I'm just going to connect that to Firebase. Give it some time to load. Alright, and then I'm going to add Firebase Cloud Messenger to my dependencies, so it's going to add it to the app build Gradle and also the project level build Gradle. So we're going to accept changes, and it's going to do that right there. You can see the changes if you open up build Gradle right here. It's going to be adding Firebase messaging and any other necessary dependencies. Just give it some time. Shouldn't take a couple seconds. Yep, 18 seconds. That was pretty fast. Refreshing Firebase state. Yeah. Alright, the next step would be to paste the google-gson into our application. So we can get that by opening up. Let's go to Chrome. I can go to console. You can go into the Firebase console by console.firebase or google.com. Select the application that you did. I connected mine to Casco right here, so I'm just going to select Casco. And I'm going to select my other app, which is the tutorial app right here. I'm going to click on settings, scroll down, and then I'm going to download the Google service file. Oh, it's actually JSON, not JSON. That's my bad. Yeah, I can close that real quick and come over here to the downloads, select the Google services right here. This is the most recent one, 1130. Alright, this is the most recent one. Select that, and then we can paste that in our project. Select it here, and then in app we want to paste it right there. Name it Google services.json, and that's about it. And the next step is to send a test notification. Alright, in order to send a test notification, we need to, there are a couple steps. So the first step would be to create a service file, and let me just go back to Android. In order to do that, I'm just going to create a new package right here. I'm going to call this package my notifications, like so, and then I'm going to create a new Java class which is going to be called my Firebase Messaging Service. Yeah, this has to extend Firebase Messaging Service, and then we have to override 2 functions, which are on message received and on new token. Just these 2. I'm gonna take out the super just because I like to keep it short if I'm not using it. And then in the manifest we need to connect that service, our service file, in here. So we can do that by just following the steps given to us right here with the assistant. We see right here, declare the following in your application's manifest. We can just copy the service, Control C, and then Control V that right there. And then we need to set this path to locate this guy. So it's not in .java, it's in .notifications. So I just have to change that to notifications. If you named your service different, like mine is called my Firebase Messaging Service, that's why it's the same as that. If you named it different, just make sure you name it different here as well. And right, that's the first step done. We've connected the service, and now we need to get the token of our instance. So I'm gonna say get the applications token, and in order to do that, I'm creating a function, and I'm gonna call this get token. And to get the token, we're gonna say Firebase instance ID dot get instance ID, and then we're gonna add an unsuccess listener. We're gonna say new unsuccess listener. It's gonna fill up for us, and then over here I'm going to log e the token. I only log e just so it would be in red and it would be easier for me to find. And then I'm going to say instance ID result dot get token, like so. And then I'm gonna call this on the onCreate. So whenever this app is created, it's gonna give us the token. And the final step is that we need to create a notifications channel, because in Android 8 and above, to send notifications we need a notifications channel. So I'm gonna say create a notif channel. I don't want to go through the hassle of writing it all myself, so there's a link right here to build notifications. So if you just copy this and go into Chrome and then paste that, it would take you to the documentation on like working with notifications. Right now all I need is how to create a channel, and I think, yep, that's over here. So I'm just gonna copy that and come back over here and paste it in. Resolve all these issues by clicking Alt Enter on each of them. So I'll select Notifications Manager, Alt Enter, Notification Channel, Alt Enter, Import Class, and done. And then to set the name of our notification, I'm going to call this Firebase Notif Channel. And in the description, I'm going to say this is the channel to receive Firebase notifications, like so. Right, let me just close this real quick. We don't need that anymore. And we need to set up the channel ID. So I'm going to create a static. So create a constant field right here. So private static channel ID. I'm just going to call this 101. And let's just delete some of these comments because I don't need them taking up too much space. There we go. And then we can just create the notification channel at the very top, right there, like so. Alright, so right now we're ready to receive notifications on this application, but before we can send it, we need the token. So we need to run this app at least once just to get that token. Oh, whoops. Alright, so I'm just gonna run it, and I'll be back when it's done running. Alright, now that it's done running, we get our token down here. Like we said, we want to log the token into like an error log, so e token, and then we get our token fml whatever. So I'm just gonna select all that and copy it. So for the next step, where we are supposed to send a test notification, we're going to go back into our console, Firebase, and we're going to select the application that we're using. So for me it's Casco right there, and then you're gonna go into Cloud Messaging. That's at the bottom. So if you don't see it, you can just click on Grow and click Cloud Messaging, and then select Send your first message. This is where you build the message that you want to send. So the title of this notification, I'm going to call this Firebase Notif, and then the notification text would be this is a sample notification. Only for the S. Next, we want to target the application that we're using. So for me, it's tutorial app right here. You can see that if you look up here, tutorial app. I'm targeting that. Next, nothing here, and then here we want to put the notification channel that we just created. So we can select Firebase Notif Channel, copy that, come here, and paste that in. And then we can come back up to the notification, and then this is where we want to send it. We want to send it to a registration token for Firebase Cloud Messaging, and the way we get that is how we already called our token. So we have selected this. I'm just going to right click on that, copy that, and come over here and paste it. I'm going to add it, and before I click test, I'm going to take our application to the background, because Firebase Cloud Messaging does not pop up on the foreground unless you handle it yourself. So right now I'm going to select test, and it should send. Yep, we've received Firebase Notif. That's the title right there, and this is a sample notification. If we click on this notification, then it takes us to the app like so. Alright, to move on to the next step, we need to handle notifications on the foreground. If I tried sending this notification, like, let's go back and clear this from memory, for example, and send a test notification when the app is on the background. Whoops. What's going on? It might have bugged out a little bit. Give me a second. Let's close that out. Send a test message. There we go. Alright, so it works. If the app is in the foreground, like so, and we send a test message, we're gonna notice that nothing happens. We don't get any new notifications. But if we go back and we send a test message, it comes in, right? So we want to be able to get notifications when we're inside of our app as well. In order to do that, we need to build a notification whenever we receive it. So on message received, this is where we're going to build our notification and then show it. So in order to build a notification, I don't want to go through the steps again. Like I said before, I'm just gonna select up here, copy this, and then just paste that in and go over there. Just use one of their sample codes just to build it. And I'm going to select this, copy that, paste that in right there, resolve most of the issues by selecting Alt-Enter, 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 and intent, Alt-Enter as well. And this is the activity that is going to open whenever we select our notification. I only have one, so I'm just going to select that one. And the channel ID, we could make a reference to the static variable right here, but for now I already know it's 101, so I'm just going to say 101, like so. And the small icon is the icon that's going to appear whenever you have a notification. So this has no icon right now. Oops, we're receiving all the old notifications coming in. This has no icon, so we need to set up like whatever icon we want. We can go into the resource file, go into drawable, right click, new, vector asset. We can now create let's just select this one, select OK. I like to make it white, so I'm just gonna make that white, choose, and go next, and finish. So change this to drawable and to notification baseline, like so. Now we want to set the title and the body of our notification to be whatever we send to it, and we can do that by getting the message from here. So we say remote message dot get notification dot get title, and then we do the same here, but we just get the body. So remote message dot get notification dot get body. Right, so this has built our notification. Now we want to show it. In order to show it, we need to just copy this as well, because I don't want to go through the process of explaining it. Alt-Enter, import that class, and then we're just going to give this an ID of 1, and that should show it. So let's run our app again. We wait for that to run. Alright, now our app is ready, up and running. We can send another notification, and this time we should see it pop up in this notification tray right here. So we can change this just to be sure. We can say foreground notif, and then send a test message to the same user, and then click test, and then we see this icon right here, which is what we created as our icon for a notification. And if we slide it, we can see foreground notif. This is a sample notification, and if we select this, it's going to open up the activity that we specified to be our activity whenever we click on that notification, like so. Alright, step 5 is the structure of a notification to send through PHP. It's a JSON format, so we have the base object, and inside of this base object we have two other things. So we have to, which is the target device, and then we have notification, which is its own object that holds the title and the body. So this is the two main things that we need to send through PHP, and in order to send that we need to use curl. I got the curl functions from here, and then I just converted them to PHP using a converter online. So it's curl to PHP. You can just do that for other curl commands. Just copy this, and then if you paste it in here, it would give you the PHP equivalent right down here. But that's not the point here. So this is the PHP. Oh, this is what we need to send. So we have a function called sendNotif. It takes in 2 parameters. That's to and then the notification. To being the target, and then notif being the array of the notifications. And then we also need our API key in order to send. So to get the API key, you go to console, your Firebase console, select the project that you're working on, select this spin settings right here, select project settings, go to cloud messaging, and you would see your server key right here. You can just select to copy this, and then you can now paste that into the API key right here. And now we need to initialize curl. So we have curl handler, curl init, and then the URL, which is the endpoint for our API calls. That's right here. It said when using your API must direct all this to the endpoint, and that's gotten from here. And then we need to set up this fields. So this right here, this is where we convert this 2 inputs, so the to and the notif, into a single JSON. So we're saying JSON encode the array which holds to and notification, and to right here is for now our token, and then our notification holds the title and the body. If you combine them together, you get a single JSON file, JSON output that looks something just like this. It holds to and then the notification, something like that. So we're saying to right here, the name, and then the value, the name and the value. And then we're now setting up the other necessary things for curl. So we're setting its URL to be this URL, like I said before. Return transfer post, and then post fields, we're now sending in fields. There's no need for this extra bracket. If you don't need it, you can just do that right here. So this fields, this is what we're posting. We're sending to and notification. And then in the header, you want to put your authorization key. So we're going to write authorization key equal, and then your API key. This dot is to concatenate and then add your API key into it. And then we also want to set the content type to application JSON. And then we now take this headers array and we pass that into the headers right here. And then we're going to execute our curl, and if we get an error, we want to put this error right here. That's what this function is pretty much doing. This function is going to use our API key to send the notification to this user using curl. And then this is where we pass it in. So I'm saying, okay, I want to send to this token, and I want to send this to this token. And I'm going to say this is a body. Let's change that. Let's be proper. And then I'm going to now call the function sendNotif, and I'm going to send it to this notif. And then if I open up the emulator, I already sent one. Let's close that. So to call this, just make sure that it is inside of your XAMPP folder. So I'm using my local host, so I have a in XAMPP htdocs, and it's inside notif app, and it's notif.php. So I can just I can call it over here saying localhost, and then notif app and notif.php. And whenever I run this script, nothing shows, but it has sent a notification to this particular application saying this is a title, this is a body. We can confirm if it's the same thing by changing this and saying this is a PHP notification. Save that, and then select here, swipe that right away, and then send this again. And then we're going to get something that says this is a PHP notification. If we click on it like before, it opens up the activity that's specified to be opened whenever we do that. Now, curl commands to PHP and send notifications. Yep, that's pretty much completed all those steps. The only thing to show is how to send to topics. So let's say that you have a bunch of users subscribed to a newsletter. You can make them subscribe to that topic newsletter. You can do that over here. So this is going to be a quick and easy way to do it. Not really best practice, but I'm just going to say private void subscribe to topic, and go there. And then we can say Firebase messaging service dot, whoops, wrong one, can't remember what that is for, so I'm just going to come here and say try FCM, subscribe to topic messaging in Android, so like that. And right here, this is where we get the subscription function, so just copy this, come here, Firebase messaging. Okay, I chose the wrong one. Get instance, Alt enter, Alt enter, Alt enter, Alt enter. That's perfect. I don't need this. I don't need this. I just wanted to say subscribed, like so. And I want to subscribe to a topic. I'm gonna change this and I'm gonna call this newsletter, like so. And then I'm going to subscribe to topic before I get the token. So I'm gonna do it after. Subscribe to topic. And then when we run again, we should see a toast saying subscribed. So give it some time. Install, launching, and subscribed. So now we have this instance of our app subscribed to newsletter. So in case we have, like, let's say hundreds of devices subscribed to newsletter, we don't want to send to each of their tokens one by one. We can send a notification directly to a topic by just adding that into this tool right here. So instead of sending to this token, we can delete this and we can now send to a topic. In order to send to topic, we need to prefix the topic with / topics / and then the name of the topic, newsletter, which is the name of the topic that we specified to subscribe to right here. And now we can come over here and change this and say a new post, and we can change the body to say for all newsletter subscribers. Save that, and then we go back in here and we run our PHP call right here. It runs like normal, but we received the notification, a new post for all newsletter subscribers. So we're able now to send to topics like newsletter. If we try to send to another topic, for example, let's close this out, and we send to a topic that this phone isn't subscribed to, if I said letter, save that, and then I try to run it, we would receive no notifications. Only if they're subscribed to that topic that they would receive a notification for that topic, if that makes sense. Yeah, now they receive a notification. So that's pretty much about it. So I hope that you were able to learn something. If this was helpful, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks.